The following episode of Thoughts from Crystal Street contains spoilers. Continue at your own risk. Hi, I'm Graham.
And I'm Tannan.
We are Crystal Street Comics, and welcome to Thoughts from Crystal Street. Sorry we weren't back last week. Had a little bit of a issue pop up with scheduling, so we couldn't get the filming done. So we're back now. And 3 or 4 weeks into the season, we're going to talk kind of early report card of all of our favorite shows this week. Give you our thoughts on how good the good TV is. So, where do we want to start, Tannan?
I'd say so far I've been a little confused with the cast because it changes every week for Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
I try to love a character, and the next week they're not even playing.
Yeah.
So
show up in different colors and whole different stories. It's a hard show to follow.
Yeah. Yeah, I say we start with the WB.
All right, that's a good place to start.
So CW, which one is it? CW?
CW? Yeah, CW. It's not the WB. We always still refer to it as the WB because it still very much feels like the WB, but it's now the CW, and it has been
for a while,
for years. So let's start with the comeback kid. Then let's start with Arrow. Arrow is much better in its 3 episodes that we've watched so far than almost its entire last season.
Yeah, and again, I mean, if you can recall, going into its finale last season, we had no idea what they're going to do with this one. I mean, because it did really feel like they've kind of run out of, for one, Arrow characters. But again, they are still borrowing Batman characters and Batman plot lines, which is fine. It's working. And right now, these 3 episodes have been
really good.
Yeah,
really good.
Incredibly well done and written well. And Damien Dark is a phenomenal character to add to that show.
He is a good villain. Real quick, I'm sure the spoiler warning was at the front, but yeah, spoilers. This episode's lots of them. So I like that they are doing a Arrow plot line, and that is they just kind of hinted that it's going to start at the end of this last episode that we watched. And that is Oliver running for mayor, which happened in the comic books. He was the mayor and Arrow at the same time for a while in the comics. So I'm glad they are taking a Arrow story.
Yeah.
And I like what they've done with everybody feels really developed now. Thea, I wasn't sure if I was going to like her in the Red Arrow Arsenal Speedy role, and she's done really well so far. I like that they brought back the Pit and all of that, and it's just been... Again, I think, because we both felt last season was really a low point. I mean, it was watchable, but it wasn't great.
It was watchable, and it had some phenomenal moments, but it did really feel like it was almost kind of wrapping up their storyline. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, even going into the very first episode, on how well-formed. It was really coming off of not having no idea what they were going to do. But yeah, it's like I like Diggle's character in this. I like I even right now like the kind of the Team Arrow doing trying to be who they were without Oliver. Right now I have no.
Yeah, it's doing good, and I mean, this last episode that we watched was kind of going to be the big lead into Legends of Tomorrow, which is the one premiere. Obviously, it hasn't premiered yet, so it and Agent Carter will be premiering later. So we'll talk about them when they come out. But you had the revelation of Sarah, and the phone message from Felicity, which I'm assuming is Palmer.
Yeah.
So kind of bringing that in, and yeah, so it's just Arrow's doing really good. So last season's Rookie of the Year, Flash, is not having a sophomore slump either.
No. And again, you can maybe recall, I thought actually, I mean, first season of Flash, I thought was so good that I actually stopped remembering that it was still the first season, because they put in so much in season 1 that I really started thinking, did I watch all of season 1? This is season 2 now? But season 2 with Zoom and Jay Garrick they're doing a good job.
Yeah, they've kept it going. I mean, they've already given me some Captain Cold, which anytime he's on the show, I get excited. And to have Ironside as his dad was really cool.
Yeah.
And now the fact that you had Michael Ironside and the prison guard from Shawshank Redemption, Clancy Brown.
Oh yeah.
You've had both of them on Arrow. I'm quite okay that you know how to go get actors.
Yeah.
They've continued to just use villains I've never heard of, and they're still really good villains. It really is continuing on what they've done. I've seen some of the preview art for Killer Frost.
Oh, nice.
She looks really good. It's just a show that one's going to be hard to stop at this point. I'm curious if they'll ever hit a trip-up point, but the way they've been using Zoom this season, I can't see this being anything but a continuation of the good we got last season.
And I did really like, even though it can lead to a lot of confusing plot lines, but introducing the multiple Earth, which DC has been running with that particular gag for a long time now.
And no matter how many times they try and kill it off, they always bring it back.
Yeah, but I mean, if they can do it well, and so far, I mean, I did really like the professor that's half of Firestorm.
Oh yeah.
His explanation. I mean, they still did a good job mentioning the Infinite Earth. How
it works, essentially.
Yeah.
And Infinite Earths is always, I mean, it can be fun. Again, I've always had a little bit of issues with it in the comic books, but Earth 2 has always been an integral part of the DC universe. So to have it now as part of, they call it the Flaro universe. I thought, was that rude? Shouldn't Arrow get the top billing? But it doesn't sound as good when you combine it the other way around. So Flaro's really
Arash.
It doesn't work. So the Flaroverse works. So yeah, I mean, those two shows. I'm very happy that Arrow bounced back. I was kind of curious if it would, and I'm happy to say that it did. And Flash it hasn't lost its momentum. So as far as the veterans go, that leaves Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is in a whole other discussion.
Yeah, Flash and Arrow, it's kind of, they should always be discussed knowing that they are CW shows. And I would say Flash, Arrow, Supernatural, that I'll talk about, they do have their really well produced for their production budget. They do a lot with, I assume, what they're given. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is given so much more.
Yeah.
And it shows, and this isn't necessarily a detriment to the CW shows and their what they can do, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. always looks like a movie in production quality.
Yeah, the camera work is always, way up there. And that's the one thing, like, special effects, on a budget, even on S.H.I.E.L.D. sometimes don't look great, because you could tell there is a budget there, but it is just the camera that is being used to film every episode. You can tell it's a better camera. That they've got more budget. And of course they have that Marvel universe to use. And right off the bat you had Fitz mentioning Ant-Man.
Right.
It really is. And it's been so good. This is how good Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been. And I swear I never do this. I was watching the episode when they save Simmons. And when that was all going on and Fitz was losing the grip on her, I swear I was by myself eating dinner. I yelled out to the TV, "Fitz, don't you let her go." That's how compelling Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is.
And apparently it worked, because he didn't.
No,
so
I made that outcome happen. That was my doing. I'm the only reason that Simmons is still alive. So you're welcome, Internet. No, but I don't do that. I don't yell at TV, except for football. I yell when the Ravens are sucking ass. But I don't do that to a TV show, and I did that. I was surprised when oh my God, did I just really do that? And it is because those characters are so compelling, and the show is written so well that it really is. It had that slow start, in season 1, getting to that halfway point. But ever since the Hydra moment, I don't think Shield has missed a beat.
Yeah. I mean, they have so many good characters to just keep culling on. Just everything Ward is doing. Ward's a phenomenal.
Yes, he is.
He's a great bad guy.
Yes. And ever since I've seen it, I really hope he turns out to be the Taskmaster.
Oh, me too.
That would be such a good fit to make him Taskmaster. I remember seeing somebody threw his face on a Taskmaster body, and it looks so good. And it's the perfect character to fit that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a show that is just, man, I don't even know where that one's going to stop. And the actors all clearly love the work. Like, it's not, none of them are ever shy about, oh, this is a comic, I get tired of. No. They want to be on S.H.I.E.L.D. They have way too much fun sometimes being on S.H.I.E.L.D. So it's one of those things that the ball's just going to keep on rolling. And something before I talk about the one that I watched that you haven't watched yet, did you see where Clark Gregg and Chloe Bennett tweeted with Supergirl, like a picture with Supergirl saying, "Good luck. I hope we don't get in trouble for this"?
No.
And it was I saw it at Supergirl Movies had posted the picture, and he posted it because they were supporting Supergirl. They're saying, "Hey, good luck tonight." And the ironic thing is, I didn't even realize this. They put Supergirl and Gotham on at the same time, and the Gotham tweet was, "You don't need to go up, up, and away." So Gotham was almost bashing Supergirl from its same parent company. So, and actually that reminded me of another one I need to talk about. But let's go on to what I really plan to talk to next, and that is Supergirl. I watched the premiere this week, and it was good. I definitely think what I like about Supergirl is I don't think it's a show necessarily for me and Tannan. It feels like a superhero show that is designed for women to watch. And I think that's a good thing, because I don't know if there's necessarily been one really geared that way. And it's not done overly hokey. There's some hokey moments in there, but it really was done well. I could see this being a show that catches on, and I hope it does. And a lot like we said with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it has a clearly higher production value. There's a reason I think it's not on the CW. It looks better than a CW show. You get the sense that it has a budget, and it shows. I mean, again, you can see it in the camera works. Again, special effects can get a little hokey, but I think any special effects on TV, they're not going to be movie theater quality special effects, so that's to be expected. But overall, I was pretty pleased with the show. They stuck with the origin almost to the letter, where Kara's supposed to be, Clark's protector back on Earth, but she gets knocked off into the Phantom Zone. And that's why she is younger when she gets to Earth, because she's been in the Phantom Zone. So I thought they did a really good job with it. I hope it catches on. I think that this is a good show to put in place. It'll be interesting because Jessica Jones premieres next month.
Oh, yeah.
And you have your second kind of female but that is going to be a considerably darker show. Really dark. Because I didn't know the character very well. I read what her and Purple Man's relationship is. That's going to be a dark fucking show. So be ready for that. Mothers, Jessica Jones, watch Supergirl. Don't let the little ones watch Jessica Jones. Real quick before I let you get to Supernatural, the other one that I remembered I should be talking about, because I watch it and I don't think you've caught up yet, is Gotham.
Yeah.
Gotham was actually the other one with S.H.I.E.L.D. that got kind of the early jump. It's been one of the best opening 4 episodes I've ever seen. Bringing back Jerome, who is their Joker, and didn't turn it. I think you would like the way they actually ended up spinning it. That kid was phenomenal in the episodes he was in. And just what they've done with the whole lunatics, and I think, I'm not sure of this, I'd have to go read, because I didn't read the books, but I think they're kind of doing the Court of Owls story, at least kind of a precursor to the Court of Owls, at least.
Well, that's easily one of the best Batman stories. So.
Yeah, so I think they're borrowing a little bit from that storyline, but that is I know a lot of people really don't like Gotham, and I don't quite understand it. I know that early on they were doing kind of the villain of the week, and yeah, the balloon guy was hokey. Because that's our friend Fergie had really big issues with that particular episode. There was this balloon, a vigilante that was killing people by tying them onto a weather balloon and then sending them up to die. And I understand it's a hokey idea, but I got what they were also kind of going for. They were going for this early vigilante not working out, essentially, because it was a vigilante that was killing. And Bruce kind of seeing that, and in that moment you could see Bruce kind of realize that's not the message. That's not the way you can get to people. So there have been some hokey stuff, but there's been Victor Zsasz, Penguin, Riddler. All of the characters that they have introduced so far, I think, are exceptionally well played. And I think the stories have just gotten better and better and better. Again, this is a show that maybe had a slow first season. Second season is going really well for them. So I recommend Gotham at any rate. And you're covering Super Natty.
Supernatural and those boys that just won't end. And right now, I'm perfectly fine with it because this season started off. Last season ended tremendously. It was probably one of the best season finales since maybe season 5. Is how good last year's season finale was, and it started off. They didn't really miss a beat. Okay. They hit the ground running for this one, and I'm really looking forward to this week because it is a strictly 67 Impala centric episode. They have mentioned that since the show's inception, the show has been about 3 characters: Dean, Sammy, and Baby. So Baby's getting her own episode this week, and I'm really looking forward to that. But it's another one. It's like kind of how we were mentioning how clearly Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actors love working on the show. Mm-hmm. You can tell that Stephen Amell and...
No, that's Green Arrow.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Stephen Amell and Barry Allen. Grant Gustin. Uh-huh. The cast of those love their show. It really hasn't been a surprise or a shock that Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki love Supernatural. Mm-hmm. So much so that, I mean, Jensen pretty much has an open invitation if he wants to be part of Game of Thrones. He's allowed to, and has turned that down to keep doing Supernatural. Yeah. And that says a lot for any role. Yeah. Because, I mean, it's still... Game of Thrones pretty much it is the most pirated show. Yeah. And I think even outside of the piracy, still one of the most watched shows. Yeah. So, to turn down a role like Game of Thrones for Supernatural, yeah, those two guys obviously love the role they're doing, and it does show. I mean they've been doing it for 11 years. Yeah. So.
I think they both kind of hit that point where they don't want to stop, but they don't really care. I think there was a point maybe they would have liked to have gone out and do other projects. Yeah. But I think they're now in it so deep. It's just, you know what? If this is the thing we're known for the rest of our lives, does it really matter? Is it that bad?
Oh, yeah. And I would say it's like, because again, this is what they will be known for. And it's kind of one of those things like, they love what they're known for. Mm-hmm. So it's not like that Green Day song that they refuse to play anymore because
they don't want to be known for that. And I saw that video, the days in the lives of Jensen. That looks really good. They that whole cast does really look like they have nothing but a good time. And I think they kind of own that studio, too. Like, oh, yeah. You always see that, Amel's out at a bar and Padalecki's giving him shit.
I mean, they are easily the elder statesmen for the CW now. Yeah. I mean, so much so that pretty much if you are killed off in Supernatural, you can't get a job on Arrow or Flash. Yes.
That is, it's still, I'd say, the one studio where I want to go get a job because I'm guaranteed work for the rest of my life when the guy that played fucking Brainiac showed up on Supernatural. Yeah. And I'm just like, Your show's been going for a long time. How'd you get this job? Oh, because you work there, and they just call you back, I'm assuming every other month. Hey, we got a new project. Come be on it. So
Yeah, I mean, because the upside right now is you could have a role on Supernatural, get killed off, and then have a role on Arrow, which is Flash. They're not going to double dip you there. But you can get killed off there and then just go to the originals and have a character there. I mean, when everybody is filmed next door to everybody else, it's easy to make sure you have a job.
It's a good gig. It's a good place to get in on there. So yeah, the good TV has started off really good this year, and and I didn't even mention like Doctor Who's been really good this season, and Big Bang has been like I thought Big Bang was on a major decline. I thought it's been much better this year. Really good TV is good right now. So enjoy your TV, folks. So that's it. I figured that was kind of dense, and next week we will have. I'm going to give you a preview of the topic. It's going to be about that comic strip about Luke Skywalker that we did. If you read the Crystal Street comics, we're gonna talk about where the hell is Luke Skywalker. So I'm Graham,
And I'm Tannan,
and we'll see you next week.